In the tepid embrace of a summer dawn, Evanston awoke, a city clad in the vestiges of mist. Towers of glass and concrete emerged, stark silhouettes against the lambent sky, huddled with hunched shoulders and cobwebbed alleyways whispering secrets of a forgotten past. In the labyrinth of its streets, Benjamin tread, his form a silhouette against the rising sun. His face, like an artist's forgotten canvas, bore the marks of time. Age had etched a web of creases into his brow, yet his eyes flickered with the spark of youth, a perennial flame that defied the onslaught of years. His posture, though stooped, was resilient, bearing the weight of a lifetime seasoned by poverty, yet refusing to bow before it. A generous heart beat beneath his worn coat, quick to offer comfort to those whose stories of life echoed his own. Once as a child, the world had dealt him a harsh hand, but Evanston had become his sanctuary, the city that offered him a second chance. In the newsroom, Benjamin was a beacon, radiating with courage, his stories reflecting the faces of the city he so dearly loved. On an otherwise ordinary day, whilst lending his hands at the local community center, a nugget of information found its way to him, a discovery that rattled the roots of the city, an ancient subterranean settlement beneath the rhythmic pulse of Evanston's streets, its heart an eerie, age-old hospital. He was drawn towards the mystery, his path intertwining with Evanston's veiled past. One day he sat across an archaeologist, an elderly woman draped in stern professionalism, her eyes echoing tales of buried histories. "We unearthed it during a routine excavation," she murmured, her voice lost in the cavernous expanse of the city library where they sat. Her hands, gnarled and weathered, unfurled a faded map that breathed whispers of forgotten epochs. Benjamin studied the map, his eyes tracing the contours of the underground structure, the hospital at its core. He pondered over the whispering corridors and the silent, empty chambers echoing with spectral sighs of a time immemorial. "Why a hospital?" he queried, his voice a mere thread of sound. "The question, Mr. Benjamin," the archaeologist countered with a grim smile, "is not why, but what for." Her words hung in the air like a cryptic prophecy, her gaze holding his with an unsettling intensity. The query marked the onset of his journey into the dark chasm of the unknown. Evanston, the city he once believed he knew, unfurled itself, revealing the ghosts of its buried past. He was not merely an observer, but a participant in a story that ran as deep as the foundations of the city he loved. A chill danced on the back of Benjamin's neck as he descended into the hallowed depths of the underground settlement. The hospital, once a structure of presumed healing, took on a shrouded malevolence in the ochre glow of Benjamin's lantern. Its labyrinthine corridors yawned before him, a collection of skeletal echoes wrapped in the claustrophobic silence of ages. Beneath the dirt-encrusted walls, he found a macabre tapestry of symbols etched with painstaking precision. They were of no known language or system, cryptic and alien, yet they seemed to hum with an ominous cadence, whispering arcane tales to those daring enough to listen. His journalistic instinct led him to Rosalind, an enigmatic professor of linguistics with a penchant for the obscure. Her office was a bibliophile's haven, each tome a soldier guarding the fortress of her knowledge. "These symbols," he said, his voice echoing amidst the skeletal remains of past languages. "I need to know their secrets." He unrolled the etchings he had made, a canvas of strange glyphs under Rosalind's intrigued gaze. Her eyes scanned the symbols, a frown marring her normally composed features. "Unnerving, aren't they? The delicate dance between the known and unknown, the sense of familiarity that wanes into uncanniness." A week turned into a month, and his visits to Rosalind became a ritual. The two of them, companions in their quest, trawled through ancient texts and forgotten dialects, their efforts echoing in the silence of the impending revelation. The slow unwrapping of the hospital's past was like the peeling of an onion, each layer unveiling a deeper mystery, a more disturbing implication. The structure, once seen as a sanctuary for healing, revealed itself as a temple of obscurity. Each symbol, each passage they deciphered, painted a terrifying portrait of a cult operating under the guise of healers. What if it isn't just a cult? Benjamin brooded one evening, his gaze fixed on the map of the hospital, his mind churning with ghastly possibilities. What if there's more? Rosalind, her expression grave, replied in a whisper that barely disturbed the dusty air. Then, my friend, you are no longer chasing shadows, but unveiling the face of darkness itself. Such were the threads that wove themselves into the tapestry of his investigation. The tale of the hospital took on a life of its own, a chilling narrative rooted in a past as old as the city itself. As the echoes of the forgotten began to reverberate louder, he found himself standing on the precipice of a reality far more terrifying than he had ever imagined, leading him towards the shrouded horrors waiting in the heart of Evanston. The familiar ambiance of Evanston underwent a sinister transformation under the weight of his revelations. The benign cityscape now echoed with the ancient whispers of a clandestine cult, their devotion given to an entity dwelling in the nether of existence. Benjamin, once the city's stalwart chronicler, was now its intrepid explorer, led by the lantern of his unwavering curiosity, each step deeper into the abyss revealing layers of horror previously unimaginable. In the belly of the ancient hospital, he discovered an altar, its surface scarred by countless rituals. The air bore a charged silence, as if screaming without sound, and the shadows danced like tormented spirits in the flickering lantern light. The crude etchings on the altar's stone surface mirrored the cryptic symbols in his notes, but amongst them was a new symbol, an eye nestled within an array of cosmic swirls. "What do you make of this?" he implored, thrusting his latest etching under Rosalind's scrutinizing gaze, the heaviness of his discovery crowding the room with an inescapable dread. Rosalind traced the symbol with a tremulous finger, her countenance a tableau of rising terror. "This," she murmured, "is a symbol of a cosmic entity, an ancient god, a force beyond our understanding." This horrifying revelation unveiled the cult in its dreadful grandeur. They were not mere zealots, but vessels for a power that dwarfed human comprehension. Their rituals aimed to appease an entity older than the universe itself. The once familiar city, the ground beneath his feet, even the silent hospital chambers, everything took on a grotesque hue. The reassuring reality he had always known was dissolving into a nightmare he could not wake from. And yet his persistence drove him forward, past the threshold of terror, to witness phenomena that defied reason and sanity. One night, the hushed hospital depths resounded with a cacophony of ancient hymns. The shadowy corridors were painted in hues of ethereal glow, flickering like an aurora trapped underground. The altar pulsed with an unseen life force, vibrating with the resonance of a cosmic melody. And for a moment, Benjamin could see things. Shadows stretched into grotesque forms. The cold stone walls breathed. The air twisted into patterns that hurt his eyes. Reality, as he knew it, warping in inexplicable ways. Shaken to his core, he confronted Rosalind, his voice trembling with a blend of fear and excitement. I saw them, Rosalind, in the heart of the hospital, our ancient gods. They exist. They are real." Rosalind's gaze mirrored his dread. "And the more you delve into their secrets, Benjamin, the more they'll pull you in. This is no longer a journey, it's a descent." His pursuit of truth had drawn back the veil of reality to reveal a terrifying cosmos of ancient deities and arcane rituals, revealing the dark heart pulsating beneath Evanston's seemingly tranquil surface. Benjamin was now teetering on the edge of an abyss, staring into the raw, chaotic heart of cosmic horror, oblivious to the transformation he was about to undergo in the approaching chapter of his life. In the face of the unraveling reality, Benjamin stood at the crossroads of existential comprehension. His once solid truths melted into the shadows of the city he had sworn to understand. The once stoic journalist was metamorphosing, transfiguring under the weight of his unearthly discovery. The pull from the cosmic entity grew stronger, an undertow tugging at the edges of his sanity. He was no longer the hunter, but the hunted, the protagonist turned sacrificial lamb to the ancient god's unspeakable power. He felt its call, a haunting siren song woven into the fabric of his existence. He would often find himself in the depths of the hospital, tracing the chilling glyphs on the stone altar, each symbol pulsating with an otherworldly energy. The spectral glow would creep over him, the ethereal light weaving tales of a cosmos teeming with formless horrors and unimaginable entities. His meetings with Rosalind grew strained. The once cozy bibliophile's haven transformed into a gloomy chasm filled with hushed whispers and grim prophecies. "I'm losing myself, Rosalind," he confessed one dreary afternoon, his usually vibrant eyes a haunted canvas of fear and resignation. "The abyss, it's pulling me in." Rosalind's gaze softened, understanding etched in her eyes. "Benjamin," she began gently, "you're becoming a part of a narrative much larger, much older than us. This isn't a loss, it's a transformation." His world became a phantasmagoria of strange visions and lucid dreams, the veil between reality and the cosmic realm growing thinner. Yet he felt an odd sense of surrender, a yearning to fully embrace the very horror that had unhinged his reality. And so it happened one fateful night, deep within the heart of the hospital, under the undulating, spectral glow, that he surrendered. His trembling hands touched the altar, his breath hitched as the cosmic melody echoed louder, and his eyes opened to see the world anew. He was no longer a mere mortal, but a part of the cosmic entity, an appendage of its unfathomable power. His sense of self dissolved into the chaotic ballet of cosmic horror, the boundaries between him and the ancient god blurring until they were indistinguishable. The city of Evanston, once a testament to human resilience and dreams, was but a speck in the face of the cosmic entity's terrifying grandeur. Benjamin was no longer its chronicler, but its vassal. No longer the observer, but the observed, the city's forgotten past merging with his present. His transformation was complete. His journey, which began as a pursuit of truth, ended with his surrender to the very abyss he sought to understand. He became a part of the cosmic horror that lurked beneath the veneer of his beloved city, a chilling end to his tale and a haunting testament to the unfathomable power of the void. We appreciate you tuning in. If you fancied the content, show your support with a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to keep up with our eerie adventures. Eldritch Tales Factory has plenty more to offer. Until next time.